Hey guys, what's up? Today I got a set of videos for you that share a sort of common theme, at least for most of them, which is overconfidence. And this first video is super emblematic of that because you've got a host and his phantom here. They've got the shortcut opened up. They're on their way to fight Pontiff. There's absolutely no reason for these guys to come out here and fight me. And in a lot of cases like this, I wanted to show this. This is so frustrating. And it's just part of being an invader, but people swing at different tempos. You roll one attack and invariably another one gets you. But there's no reason for these guys to come out here, and you can see they're being a little bit careful about it. And so what'll happen a lot of times in these situations is a host and or the phantom, and obviously we've got an overlevel phantom, and here's some hitbox porn there. I swing right over his head and I eat the weapon art, and then I roll into his charge star 2 like a fool. But a lot of times they'll come out part way like this, thinking they can get an easy kill of an invader, and then if things go sideways, they'll run away or run to the boss. And there, my running attack comes up short, and I'm just getting plastered by this phantom here, who I'm sure at this point does not think very highly of my skills. But now that there's a blue involved, now the confidence level goes up a notch. So these guys come out here to mix it up with all the AI. Now, the PvE out here is pretty powerful, but with 3 players, it's not going to last very long. So I gotta try and make the most of it. Realistically, it amazes me that I see players come out here and fight the PvE like this. And the one thing I'm not sure of at this point is whether they rested at the bonfire and so the PvE throughout the rest of the level is still around, or if maybe it's dead and I didn't get a chance to look. But the fact that they came out here at all is pretty remarkable. But now you can see most of the PvE is dead, and now I've got the brunt of 3 of these guys chasing after me, which is really dangerous. At this point, it's not looking very good for me. So here the blue peels off to go deal with the other PvE, and this phantom underestimates me, and he makes the mistake of swinging a 3rd time, and I'm able to slide in there perfectly and get a backstab. I get a couple nice roll catches here on the host. It felt awesome. Check out my new transitions. It looks just like a TV, just very professional looking, isn't it? Make sure you leave comments and tell me how professional it looks. Not really, I know. It looks kind of dumb, but I was trying to come up with something different. The first thing I almost always do when I come through here is I check the status of the shortcut or the door to Pontiff. I guess it's technically not a shortcut. It's pretty much the only way there without going all the way through the level. I guess it's a shortcut. But that's the first thing I'll do, because that'll always tell me what I got to work with. Because if the shortcut's open, I can't really kind of release pressure on the party, because if I do, a lot of times they'll just bail and go to the boss, which is really the smart thing to do. But if you stay kind of in their face a lot of times, especially if they have you outnumbered, they think they've got an easy victory against an invader, and they'll kind of hang out and try to kill you before they go to the boss. So this guy's got the Llewellyn, and he keeps holding it up, which makes me think that he wants to try a setup parry, but he's not doing that. He's using it in a very PvE-ish sort of way, where, he blocks my attack and then immediately counter swings on me. And if I had my straight sword out, I would parry that. But especially with a group, I'd much rather have the Murakumo. And there he obviously didn't mind his stamina very well. It's really unbelievable how much stamina damage this weapon's able to do. And there's my the taunt that I've been working on. I haven't been using it a lot lately, so it makes an appearance here again. Kind of zoom in there and show that to you in better detail. That one wasn't as good. I think I got one coming up that was a little bit better. So I think this invasion was another classic example of overconfidence. It's just a host and his son bro. You see, the host isn't paying too much attention to me. He's going up there and grabbing that large Titanite. The Sunbro here in particular doesn't really seem to understand the concept of hyper armor. And the host there, I was really impressed, got a really nice backstab on me. Didn't really do much damage, but it was really nicely executed. One thing I've been having problems with is playing unlocked with this thing. A lot of times I'll kind of swing over people's heads. Somehow I forget my roll button. These guys almost kill me. Yeah, I really struggle with those straight swords because after that second R1, I don't want to roll into the R2 roll catch, and most people won't just keep spamming. But every now and then people do, and it's really difficult to roll on reaction and get out of. And there I get caught in it again like an idiot. These guys are so confident right now that they're going to kill me that they're marching straight up to the PvE. Most parties will kind of hang up there, and you really have to work to draw them through. Not so in the case of these guys. I think, too, once they had me at really low health, I was just too tempting a target. And the host there have been doing a really good job at not rolling, panic rolling. Their panic rolled at the end and it cost them. There's some more of that all-pro taunt. See, with the Murakumo, I think it looks so much better than with the straight sword. So we were out looking at my level 57 build, and I'm actually going to include some screenshots of both the builds I use. It's only two, the level 57, and this guy's a level 81. So the 57 is a dex build, and this guy I'm pretty sure is a quality build. I run into the party of three and quickly turn around. I have the obscuring ring on, so I'm not sure at this point if they saw me, but now I see them kind of moving this way, and it's a good bet that they did. I've mentioned it before, but fighting down there in the fog can be a really good strategy if you're comfortable playing unlocked. In fact, I had as part of the same session, I didn't include it, but I had a really good greatsword mirror match against a guy in that area, and neither of us could lock onto each other, but both of us I thought did a really good job, and I think I played better than he did, but he just had so much more Estus than me. It was a fight of attrition, and eventually he wore me down. But if you're comfortable playing unlocked, that is the place to play. You know, especially if you're fighting against mages, it's a really good strategy. And I totally read the parry there. This is weird. He kind of lags out here and really creams me. And here I kind of panic, and what I should be doing here is unlocking from them, turning around to see where I'm going, and running away until I can Estus, but I just kind of panicked instead. But that little lag spike almost cost me the fight right there. I see the host, he's using a Great Lance, which I think historically has not been regarded as all that great a weapon, but I've seen people use it to great effect. I think Tony was the one that was using it one day in Saint's stream, and I was really impressed by the combination of the weapon and his gameplay. really made me kind of rethink the weapon. And there I almost overcommit to the Phantom. It almost cost me the fight. And this is my favorite area right here to draw parties, because it doesn't look that dangerous, but with the thralls and the mages on both sides and the curse arms, it is really dangerous indeed. And here, really, just because I'm an impatient sort of guy, I go chasing after these guys. Really, I probably should have waited for them. And this guy using the lance isn't very good with it. The people I've seen that are good with it do a really good job of mixing up the R1s and the R2s and how long they charge the R2. And I think most people I've seen play with it typically they'll play with something in addition, so you can't just kind of roll around them. They'll play like with an offhand like straight sword or something. So at this point, the host kind of says, fuck this, and takes off. I see him run around the corner here, and then I lose sight of him. I don't see him run down the stairs. I don't see him go through the doorway. So now I'm a little concerned that he's hanging back here and he's going to try to double back past me. And now I start to worry that if I give him too long down here, he's going to run back and resummon. But the nice thing about this area here is that the only way, at least that I know of, the only way to get back downstairs is to go where the knight is with the spear. He casts Crystal Magic Weapon on it. And that's not the type of enemy hosts that like to summon are going to want to fight on their own. So it's really a sign of how much I've changed as a player that this guy goes for the charge, and rather than me trying to parry it, I try to go around him and go for the safer backstab. Not successfully. In situations like this, I've learned to be a bit more careful. I used to go like super aggressive on these guys to try and finish them out, but I've since learned that that causes me to make too many mistakes. That if I'm patient and I just keep consistently doing damage over time, the host or phantoms or whomever will just panic. And there I was expecting the boulder. I thought poison's an interesting choice, and you can see he successfully poisons me. And at an earlier phase of the fight, that actually would have been a really good idea to have brought out. But this late in the fight, it really it's too little, too late, I'm afraid. So here I've cut out a huge part of the opening of me trying to track this party down, and they've basically been standing up here on the railing looking for me for about a minute or two, and I've just been kind of quietly stalking them. I didn't see this invader invade, so he may have actually been here before me, and I've got the obscuring ring on, so I'm kind of trying to monitor them. I think about going down here, but what I think is happening is they're just kind of looping this area here because they know it's advantageous to them to fight invaders here. And this party, you'll see in a little bit, seems fairly practiced. So my guess is that this is a standard thing for them to kind of, maybe put on dried fingers and just fight invaders here. I'm a little wary of trying to go down there because there's really not much in the way of PvE backup if things go badly. But because the other invader goes down here, I don't want to leave him hanging. I know if it were me coming down here, I'd want the other invader to follow. But I don't know where the host and the white phantom went. I only saw the sun bro. And I have a feeling the sun bro is kind of trying to deke us by coming down here and fool us. I can see here he's light rolling. He's got a dagger. That can be a dangerous build. There's no way I'm going to hit him with the greatsword. And the invader here is making me nervous because he doesn't seem to be doing a good job of avoiding me. You see here, I'm kind of looking around the corners to make sure that the rest of the party isn't going to jump out and ambush us. And I decided to go up and grab the sunbro, but then I realized the rest of the party's up there. So they're almost all certainly on a mic. You can see there are over-leveled summons for the host. And this does not portend well for us. Now my invader buddy's dead, and so I'm in some pretty serious trouble here, especially this dagger build. It looks like he's got it bleed infused because the bleed buildup on that thing is building up so insanely quickly. So since there were two invaders, they obviously have the dried fingers up, so my strat at this point is to get enough distance, let the obscuring ring effect kick in. But unfortunately I screw up here and drop, and I know he's going to try to plunge me, and he does successfully, but I think the party made a really big mistake here, and that's the overconfidence. In here, watch, you can see the host. And there's the host getting creamed. I mean, it was really foolish of them to try to follow me down there. Let's see the sad sun, bro. Alright guys, thanks a lot for checking in. Take care now.